their best one. And remember yesterday we talked about, this is something we want to add to dairy in order to, Caleb, what's the word? Starts with an R.
Revolutionize.
Reinvigorate.
Revitalize. Revitalize. This is Feldbush. My name is John Williams. I teach this year 9th grade advanced, 12th grade advanced, and 12th grade AP. I have been, oh my goodness, teaching for 21 years. Alright, so revitalize. What can we add to dairy to revitalize it? Whether it's something small or something much more robust. So we're just going to go around. We'll just go like this. Go ahead, Addie.
Make some sort of park in an empty space.
Okay, it's some sort of park. Can you give us a specific park?
Like a kid's park, like that has a jungle gym and stuff where parents can take their little children.
Okay, a nice community park.
Yes.
As you added in an empty space. I like that. Anthony.
Alright, sports arena or motocross track.
Okay, and Anthony, why would that be something good? How's that going to revitalize dairy?
That'll bring in a lot of money.
How?
How?
Yeah.
A lot of people would attend them if it was a main one like the PBG paints around.
Okay, very good. Jenna.
Outlets.
Ooh. Do people travel to outlets?
Yes.
How far has your parent driven to go outlet shopping?
Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock, anyone further?
I was there for basketball tournament.
It's always a good thing about going up there for tournaments. Lancaster, anyone go to the Lancaster outlets?
Mr. Williams has asked his students to complete a Type 1 writing to brainstorm ways to revitalize our town and its economy. This is a fantastic way to safely ask his students to start thinking, and it's the perfect setup for the authentic writing task they'll begin today by using the Helps template.
Mr.
All
Williams.
right, good. And we have the natural resources. What's that?
Movie production studios.
All right, something unique. Brings a lot of people here. Maybe Brad Pitt will come here. Is he still like the hottest one?
No.
He's like an old guy now. All right, so here's the next step. Let's get out this focus sheet here, if you don't already. And we're going to fill out the top part. I'm going to explain everything that is involved here. So this is called the Helps template. And the reason it's called the Helps template is this acronym right here, HELPS, Helps. The H stands for historic, and a couple other categories. E stands for economic, L literary, P personal, and S scientific. The best thing that I like is it avoids that simple knee-jerk reaction to the first 2 or 3 reasons, argumentative reasons, for whatever it is they're proposing, and it gets them to look at some deeper meanings, maybe some better reasons for an argument they're presenting. And it also forces them to look at multiple reasons from the other side. They just can't simply concentrate on one. They have to look at multiple reasons the side they're arguing against has come up with their side of the argument. And so what you now do is let's do this now. Let's circle one idea you're thinking of going on that list, whether it is the restaurant, the railroad museum, indoor water park. And you'll see the left column, we can see categories of reasons for your idea. And for example, a railroad museum, you could think of a historical reason that a railroad museum would work, because Derry, the original name was Derry Station. There is railroad history here. There's an infrastructure of historical markers and things of that nature. So historically, it makes sense. Okay. Can anyone just off the top of your head, let's just use railroad museum as an example, another category that might work for railroad museum? Yes?
Economic.
Very good. And why would economic work?
Because if you have tourists, then they'll spend money here.
Okay, right? They're bringing in money. They don't live here. And we could also have what's called the ripple effect, right? If people are coming to the Railroad Museum, they're going to be hungry. Maybe they'd even stay overnight. I'm not sure how much trains to look at. It would take 2 days, but it could happen. So economically, it's going to bring in money. What else? What else might work?
Historic.
Aiden.
Historic.
Yes, Aiden. We just talked about that one. And
My bad.
economic.
Personal,
And why personal?
because they might have like a thing for change.
Okay, this is going to personally work for people. Personal in this case, though, would be your reason if you're writing the paper. And maybe something personal is your family has a lot of train memorabilia. Like your uncle would be the perfect one to start this museum. Okay. What does aesthetic mean? What's that?
I was gonna say why being aesthetic.
Oh, go ahead.
Because maybe people like to look at trains.
Okay. Well, and the building, it would be a new building, maybe a revitalized train stop that would look very nice. Aesthetic is something that is pleasing to the eye. And as you go over our new bridge, we still have all that empty factory space. And wouldn't it be aesthetically pleasing to have a railroad museum in that area? Right. So that's how aesthetics would work. DJ.
I could also go for literary because people are gonna have in front of the train, like if it's a museum, I don't remember the exact name of the room, but they're little plaques
Okay.
that have the description of the train possibly, and people are gonna read them.
Okay, exactly. Literary also is a reason, and it doesn't necessarily work for this one, but it's also things that are written about ideas. Okay, maybe we'll get to a couple examples. How about this category is for reasons against? How about just one reason against a railroad museum? What might, yes, for anything.
I was gonna say economic because if people aren't really into it, then they'll be losing money for like buildings and everything.
Yeah, very good. And we would need someone to invest in it. So you can have economic for and economic against when you fill this out. Lisette.
Again, aesthetic because like a lot of people, like younger generations, don't really care about trains.
Okay, maybe they don't want an old museum about old things. Okay, all right. All right, so what we're going to do, you're going to divide up into the groups we've been dividing up into, and you're going to work on filling out the front of this paper with your idea. Okay, you can help each other even if you have different ideas, and you can move about the room, and I'll kind of come around
So
and
we
see
can
how
have
you're
the same
doing.
idea?
What's that?
We can have the same idea.
You can have the same idea. A lot of people in first period did nursing homes, and we didn't hear that idea. So if you're struggling with one, that's always an option.
Wait, what group?
Group you've been in.
The groups you've been in all week.
Kyla, you're in my group.
Notice how Mr. Williams transitions to a student-centered classroom. This is Social Lens at its finest, with the kids getting an opportunity to share their ideas, hear other ideas that may inspire them, or challenge their perceptions or misperceptions. The whole time, Mr. Williams is on the move, bouncing from group to group, there to assist if necessary, but never dominating a discussion. This is how true learning occurs with students.
All right, guys, let's come back to our seats from the start of class, please. We're going to go around, and you're going to share three things. You're going to share, again, the item you're choosing to do to revitalize dairy, whether it's a casino, restaurant, maglev.
My thing is a movie production studio. It would bring in, for economic resource utilization, it would bring in a lot of tourists and aspiring actors and would use mass amounts of the available space.
Okay.
Like,
All right, good. Very good.
Mine is indoor water parks, and for personally, we said for the good, personally, me and my age would want to experience an indoor water park, and for like against, we said people my age wouldn't always be able to go due to school and might only be able to go during breaks.
You know, it helps them better understand that point of view, which is pretty obvious reason. Maybe it even helps them change their mind a little bit. It might even show how weak their argument is. As they look at the counterclaims, they're like, wow, this is better than mine. I better revisit what I was thinking.
Writing teachers often struggle with the counterclaim and where to place it. I love how the helps template puts it on display at the very start of the paper. There's no doubt to a reader that a writer has considered the opposing arguments when you do it like this. Mr. Williams puts a bow on the day's learning by giving every student the chance to share their work for the day and validates their efforts. It's a nice reminder to plan bell to bell and to intentionally make time for your students to think about the learning they've been doing.